there, Dr. Marie here. Welcome to my video series featuring tips and tools for how to be your best self today. And today is all about how to combat those negative thoughts. We're gonna get them. And there's lots of helpful strategies for how to deal with negative thoughts. And I'm just gonna focus on one tool in particular today that's one of my favorites. And first, let me clarify what I mean by negative thoughts. First of all, we all have them. If you think you don't have negative thoughts, you probably just haven't noticed them lately. You know, it's that voice that kind of gnaws away at us. Sometimes it sounds like self-doubt, like, are you really sure you know what you're doing right now? Are you really sure you're the right person for this job or that you're able to do this? Sometimes it's just a mean bullying voice or demeaning type of voice. I mean, it can come in many forms. It's usually not helpful, but we all have that voice in our minds. And this is all about how to combat that negative voice so that we don't just sort of succumb to whatever mean things it has to say to us. So one of my favorite strategies for dealing with that negative voice that we all have inside of us is finding ways to strengthen the more positive voice. And the best way to do this is by teaching these two voices how to have a helpful conversation with each other. I am not joking. So if we imagine for a moment that that negative voice is like a little, upset, angry person sitting on your shoulder over here, and that somewhere you have a positive voice that sort of lives on the other shoulder. We don't want this angry voice to get all the airtime and just be sort of shouting in this ear while this one's just sort of hanging out quietly listening. We also don't want this one to just sort of try to yell louder than this one, because then we just end up being overwhelmed by all the sounds hitting us. So what we need to do is we need to help them learn how to have a healthy conversation with each other, similar to how we might do in couples counseling, helping these two people communicate with each other, or in family counseling or conflict resolution. So we need each party to take turns speaking and to listen to what the other one is saying. Now, I know this might sound crazy because this is all stuff happening right here, but it's super helpful. It works really well. And you might be wondering, well, how do I get these voices in my head to have a conversation? There's a number of ways to do it, but one that I found particularly helpful is by actually letting the conversation happen on paper. And what am I doing with my hands? Yes, by this is a piece of paper. So getting a piece of paper and allowing each party to have a moment to speak, and then allowing the other party to respond. And sometimes it's helpful to sort of give each of these sides a name. I mean, sometimes the mean voice is the bully, sometimes it sounds like your mom, sometimes whatever it is. You can give it a name and use that as its name, like put like bully, colon, and then whatever that voice is saying. And then the more positive voice, whatever you might like to name that feels apt, to put that name next, and it gets to respond. And first you might notice it is a little chaotic if you give this a try, that these two parts of you aren't naturally conversing with each other, but over time, as you sort of go back and reread it, you may start to learn how to be a bit kinder to each other, and your mind can start to implement some of that practice. Even when you're not using that piece of paper, it can start to integrate into your mind where you're having a much more productive conversation in your mind, and you can combat that negativity, which is really a misnomer because we're not combating it, we're trying to integrate it into our minds in a healthy way with sort of reality checks, healthy positivity, etc. Because that negative voice isn't totally useless. It's just creating chaos if it gets free rein. So we need to integrate it with something else to balance it out. There's like all these squirrels running around. I apologize if I've been slightly distracted. So that's my quick tip for today. I hope you found this tip helpful to you as you combat those negative voices. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. And until next time, I'm Dr. Marie Fang, and I hope you have a great day.